Hello and welcome back to our adventures in Azeroth and beyond. You join us for part 2 of Naxxramas. You've got myself, Jamie, and Phil.
Hello.
And we are going to be finishing off Naxxramas today. We've got one quarter and the little end bit to do.
One and a bit quarters.
One and a bit quarters. There's a little end bit with some cool stuff in it that we're going to have a look at where you finish the raid, so we have to do it. You know, it's not an optional boss, I'm afraid.
I mean, we could just walk away. We could just leave them in peace, but that's not what we're here for. We're here to raise hell.
So you join us inside the floating necropolis of Naxxramas. You can see it's very necropolisy, lots of skulls, spider webs, all kinds of horrible stuff. And we're about to,
maggots,
skeletons. And we're going into the military quarter now.
Yes. Away.
Away, huzzah.
Some say these red-cowled beasts are inherent from Diablo. Shut up, Deckard.
Once again, Phil is channeling the spirit of Deckard Cain.
Get out of here, Deckard.
You're in the wrong franchise.
Yeah, I know. It's too much Heroes of the Storm. They've all become one. The joyous bony constructs. A little hangover from Stratholme there.
And some
Tauren Death Knights.
Yeah, I thought they were Worgen for a minute there. I was like, were Worgen even out then? But no, they're Tauren.
No, they're Tauren Death Knights. There weren't that many around. I think they're the only NPC Tauren Death Knights.
I think you may be right, but we'll have to visit the Ebonhold to confirm that.
Stompy, stompy, stompy. Oh, didn't kill him, did you? A few Dwarven Death Knights. So, Jamie, tell us a bit about Death Knights. What are Death Knights?
The original Death Knights we saw in Black Temple. They were orc warlocks, spirits put into magical truncheons and given to the corpses of Stormwind Knights. These Death Knights are much cooler and less truncheony. They are the resurrected heroes of Azeroth, the greatest heroes that have been brought back to fight for the Lich King. Some of the Death Knights are good. Some of them rebelled against the Lich King and are playable characters. They were the class that was added in Wrath of the Lich King, the first heroic class. The second heroic class is coming out in Legion, which are Demon Hunters. They're much cooler than Death Knights.
So basically, the heroic class equals fan favorite.
Fan favorite, yeah. Basically, you start at a higher level, so you can go straight into the content. Basically, the Death Knights, they start at a higher level because they've already lived a life and leveled up to level 60 when they were alive.
I believe that. Yeah, they started at
55.
Yeah,
and then you left the starting quest.
I went through Burning Crusade. It's like, yes, you've turned against the Lich King and decided to fight against him. Go off to that alien land and go kill lots of people over there. Never quite made sense to me, but still.
I think it was so you could still get a feel for playing the character.
Oh, yeah, no, mechanically I understand. This is a boss, Jamie.
Oh, poo. I didn't hit him, hit him.
Okay, no, it's fine. We'll just stand here. Just tank them for a bit. Okay, so if you can, because he hits really hard.
Does he?
Well, he used to. I wasn't sure how it would scale because he was like a one-hit kill type of deal. Oh, look, there's a little jagged knife there, like Sylvanas from Heroes of the Storm. So, Instructor Vesuvius would basically one or two shot anyone in your raid, even the tanks. And so the only way to deal with him was to mind control his understudies into tanking him for you. Now, previously, this was done by priests who had the mind control talent. But I believe somewhere there is a orb of control or something. I could be wrong.
I think you can just, because the way that the damage scalings worked, you just can him now.
Cool. So there used to be an orb of control around. I thought they would have left it in there, but anyway. Which you could click on to take control of an understudy, and they had several unique skills that allowed them to tank Instructor Vesuvius's damage and not die. However, they wouldn't live forever, what with them already being dead. And eventually they would die, and you would have to quickly swap over to the next understudy before he came and smushed your raid in the face. Whilst also your whole raid tried to do DPS. So it was a really fun, interesting mechanic. It was really frustrating back in vanilla because obviously you needed to have a couple of priests, and you needed to have a couple of priests that had spec'd appropriately to have mind control. Because I
Yeah, they
believe
would
it was
had to be
talented under
shadow.
Shadow. I think it was the final Shadow talent. And so it was, and this was before you had like multiple specs that you could swap between. So you just had to keep going back and reset. So you had to do basically, if you came to do Instructor Vesuvius, all of this you were playing with a Shadow Priest, and they weren't the greatest DPS back then, to be honest. So obviously when they brought it into Wrath of the Lich King, because it was 25 man, you couldn't guarantee having a Shadow Priest DPS in the raid. So they made it a little clickable icon, similar to Drakisath, I guess, with his little orb of control thing.
Yeah, and the what's the one in Horadon, the big dinosaur that you have to control with the orb of control and kite him around?
That one, yes.
You know that it's in Throne of Thunder. He's a big dinosaur.
I can't remember his name.
Horadon, that's his name.
Oh, okay.
He said it.
Oh,
Listen, Phil.
I don't know. I didn't.
Why'd you never listen to me?
I didn't do a lot of Mr. Pandaria stuff because Mr. Pandaria.
I liked Pandaria, but we'll get to that. That's a few episodes off, yeah.
Just quick insert. I liked the expansion. I didn't like the raids. So that was a thing. Anyway, storming a brewery with Chen Storm Stout never gets old. Anyway, so obviously this whole quarter is weapons and Death Knight themes. There's lots of like enchanted weapons. Obviously. Why do I always end up doing this? Every episode, there's a word that I pick and I just say it repeatedly.
It's like a very polite kind of Tourette's.
Yeah, obviously. So Death Knights are known for their enchanted weapons. Obviously, they got their rune. Oh fuck's sake! They've got their.
That's the real Tourette's.
They've got their rune swords, etc. So then, weapons are very important to them, and we had to have some magical ones in here. I believe there's some more that come up. You've also got your General Skellingtons. Sadly, there isn't a boss called General Skellington. There should have been. That was a
General Skellington.
That was a missed opportunity there.
So more Death Knights.
Yeah.
I think this was before they'd really worked out mounted combat, so they just ride up to you and their horses disappear.
Oh.
Whereas in
horse.
Whereas in Warlords, you still see mobs fighting off the back of their wolves and stuff. In fact, you can do it in one of the zones. You can fight off the back of a wolf, which is really cool.
It's pretty sick.
So there's the boss up there.
Ah, yes. Generic Necromancer number 2.
Blue Necromancer.
Yes.
I wonder what his
I wonder if he fights with red
is.
Ones. So Gothic would... Yes, it's very funny.
Power Rangers reference, dude.
Yeah.
Listen.
Really keeping yourself current. So this encounter required you to put yourselves into 2 halves. Do you want to go on one half and I'll go on the other?
I'll stay on this side. You go through the...
Right. Required you to put yourselves into 2 halves. One would tackle the undead beasties and one would tackle the living beasties. And what would happen is the living beasties would spawn, die, and then come back as undead beasties. Isn't that magic? It's the circle of life. Unfortunately, Gothic didn't start quoting Elton John songs, but that might have been a nice touch. So if you want to shoot him with an arrow, Jamie, but try not to one-shot him.
I'll use a little arrow.
Use a little arrow. Get the slingshot out.
Yeah, I hit him with a little arrow.
Okay. So you're on the living side, so you should start getting some enemies coming through at some point. Stop shooting him.
I'm not. I'm out of range. I can't. He's immune at this point.
I saw an arrow.
He's immune.
Ah, well, how would you know?
Watch my recording.
How would you know he's immune if you didn't shoot him?
Let's not get into who shot what.
So in a minute,
here we are. Unrelenting trainees.
Some little grips. And what would happen is, as the fight went on, there were certain timers for the enemies, and they were all slightly staggered. And now you see Jamie's killed his 3 dudes, and now 3 ghosts have spawned over on my side, which do a lovely AoE. So I will kill them. And now over on your side,
if you look at the balcony at the back, you can see their souls going along the sort of power rail and then bouncing down into the piles of corpses.
Yeah. Oh.
Will I hit him?
Yeah, but don't kill him before the gates open or something.
No, he's still immune, and we actually have to do this.
Yeah. Yeah, so now we start getting some spectral death knights coming through. What are you getting over on your side, Jamie?
I'm getting unrelenting death knights.
Ah.
Oh no, those were trainees again.
So you're getting some
guys.
so you're getting some bigger guys, and obviously as his there's that word again. As his guys die, my guys come forwards, and their types tend to match roughly. So
Yeah,
there's
so you
some
got
death
spectral
knights
death
there.
knight.
Ooh, spectral death knight. Yeah, when he does eventually aggro us, I think he comes down from his balcony. Don't kill him before the door in the middle opens, because otherwise it bugs out. So what would happen is you'd basically go through this scenario of increasingly hard mob encounters, and once you had completed that, Gothic would have had enough and would jump down and fight you, and at that point, Spectral Horsey, at that point, the middle gate would open and both sides of the raid could come together and fight him to the death. So you basically had to have 2 mini raids within your raid, which was quite interesting.
You'd have to split everything equally. You have to have healers on both sides, a tank on both sides.
Yeah, I might fast forward through this section to the end from
That's
now.
not a terrible plan.
King has a chipmunk voice. Diablo.
Oh, here we are. He's down now.
Wait for the door! Wait for the door!
I know. I'm not hitting him. I'm hitting you. Where's the door not opening?
Don't know, Jamie. I don't know.
Does he not teleport maybe between the...
Oh,
the
maybe.
sides?
Can you tickle him?
Tickle him.
Oh.
There he goes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now you tickle him.
Oh God.
Don't hit him too hard. There we go. Now we've got it.
Yay! Now we kill him.
There we go. Boom.
Oh, that was the most stressful thing I've done recently.
I was like, this is gonna bug. This is gonna bug. This is gonna bug.
We're gonna be trapped.
I think it's just the way that the scaling works since they've since we're horrendously overgeared and leveled for this place. If you kill him too quickly, the central gate doesn't open and you're stuck.
Yep.
And you can't get out.
Forever.
Forever.
Oh, until a soft reset anyway.
We're back in the outer ring now.
Yep. Outer ring. And those voices you can hear over in the distance are the next encounter.
Probably the coolest encounter. Yeah.
The dragon's pretty cool.
Yeah, but not as good as...
Because it's a frost worm.
Not as good as Arthas's dragon, though.
It's a frost worm. Frost. Cool. Get it? Get it? Ah, you get it. Oh, I get to do a fancy freeze frame for this.
Oh, we do.
Yeah. Oh, that's
Let me just kill the little ones.
That's my Saturday morning gone. Right.
Right. So we have the Four Horsemen.
Do you want to read them out from left to right? Just so it's easier for me to
From
do.
left to right. We have Lady Blameau. Sounds about right.
Blancmange.
Then we've got Thane Kor'Thazz, Baron Rivendare, and Ser Zalik.
I told you he was still a baron.
Yeah, I thought he was a lord at this point. So this is not the original lineup
No.
of the Four Horsemen.
This is after the breakup, and this is a post-second album.
Yeah, this is the, after the horrific breakup. Originally, in the place of Baron Rivendare, on lead vocals, they had one of the Mograines. Which one was it? Darian?
Darian, yeah.
Darian Mograine, who was a paladin. He wielded the Ashbringer. He wielded the corrupted Ashbringer as a horseman of the apocalypse. And then eventually, this is another one that happens in the comics, I think.
Mm.
His son goes on a quest to free him or something. Yeah, I can't really remember. But no, it's to purge the sword. So he dies, and then his son tries to purge the sword. And then Tyrion Fordring wields the uncorrupted Ashbringer and uses it in the story in the game.
Yeah, in the following.
And then it
Following
becomes
instances.
it's a Legion artifact weapon.
Yes, it is now. You can
Legion, there we
literally
find-
have it. You can be a Retridin with a big fuck off sword.
Yeah, the Ashbringer is one of the coolest weapons. It's forged from pure hatred by a dwarf with the shattered heart of a Naru embedded in it and all kinds of crazy evil stuff. It's a really cool weapon.
And some of the skins for it look insane.
Yeah, there's a fiery one. There's a you can use the corrupted one where there's a skull embedded in it. You can use the standard one. It looks ace. I really like the Four Horsemen. I think they're a really cool boss.
They're very cool. And I like the fact that each of them you may have noticed as we were coming in, they've had a little argument, and they all have their own little personalities. So it says Zelik at the end here is trying to redeem himself and wants us all to run away, but the other ones aren't so happy with us. Thane Kor'Thazz is very angry. He seems to be a Viking.
He's a dwarf.
Oh yeah, he is, isn't he?
Yeah.
I literally never noticed that before. And also, Lady Blamo over here is showing some impressive cleave.
It's a Blizzard game, isn't it?
Yeah.
And then Rivendare joined the Horsemen from Stratholme. He was the end boss in Stratholme, one of the dungeons. He's still a boss there because his mount still drops. It's one of the rarest mounts in the game. It's really cool, but if you're into Death Knight horses.
Yeah.
If you like your chameleon fairy dragons, however.
Like Jamie, then you know where to go.
You know where to go to the Blizzard shop.
The Blizzard store, yeah. So originally, mechanics-wise, these guys used to have to be kited into the 4 separate corners of the room and sort of dealt with individually. And I don't think they had a mechanic where they got stronger as you killed one, but I could be wrong.
No, I don't think they were like I don't think you had to get them all down at the same time. Are you currently consulting your diary of raiding, are you?
Yes.
And these are obviously based off of the Four Horsemen from real world lore, Four Horsemen of the Apocalypse. Although which one's which, I'm not really sure. Maybe Rivendare's death. Kor'Thazz is maybe pestilence because he's
green.
Zelik's kind of pinky red, so maybe war. And then Blamo is famine.
Yeah, but I don't think so. Their personalities don't really match that.
No, Kor'Thazz is more warlike.
Warlike, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think they're based on, but don't necessarily completely
correspond exactly to.
Yeah, as far as I can tell, you didn't have to kill them. They didn't get stronger as you killed one. It was just all really hard to deal with individually.
Now, probably not so much. But we could kite 2 each. Give people give the viewers a taste of how it used to be.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'll take Blamo and Kor'Thazz, and you take Rivendare and Zelik.
Okay. I know you. Actually, I just remember something. I know you had to cycle people around a lot because they would put debuffs on, and you had to sort of cycle your tanks round between all 4 of them so that you didn't have to, or like your DPS had to cycle round, something like that. Something about cycling the groups round, so you couldn't just sit on one. It was interesting. But anyway.
Here we go.
Yes. Oh. Come back!
Oh, they run automatically to their corners.
They made it easy mode. I see.
I've killed my 2. Yeah, now we've still got one more boss to do in here, don't we?
We've got 2 bosses. Oh, what, in the military quarter?
Oh no, have we done them all?
That's all of them, yeah.
That's all of them. That's great.
That's why the Portal of Diablo is here.
Arcane's back.
He likes to visit.
So now we need to go to the endy bit.
Yeah. Using the Orb of Naxxramas?
Orb of Naxxramas takes us to Kel'Thuzad's...
Sapphiron's lair, I believe.
Oh, it didn't let me teleport. Oh, there we go. That's because I didn't click on it.
That would generally stop you from doing the thing that you need to do. Oh, animation, spinny things.
So you can see Sapphiron was a frostworm, again from Warcraft 3, that Kel'Thuzad raised... No, that Arthas raised on his quest to become the Lich King. He was an optional, not a hero, but one of the powered up units that you could get. So you had to go and do an optional quest, and then if you did that, you got to.
Oh, that's such a janky transition.
Yeah, that was a bit nasty.
Like, oh look, it's really tiny, and boom! Oh, dragon model.
His tail's also not gone on the back. It's missing a bit.
No, it's there.
No, see at the back left. Maybe it's just on my screen. It's just phased out. You can have a look at it, but there was a bit that didn't join up with him.
Interesting.
So
yeah, it's Sapphiron, big frostworm. Not the first frostworm we've encountered.
Not the last either.
No.
No, I like Sapphiron. He's got some decent lore. He fits again back into Warcraft 3. This and the Burning Crusade kind of resolved all the stories from Warcraft 3.
Yeah, definitely.
I think Vanilla was just a series of almost like standalone adventures. They didn't almost sort of fit into the lore that was established in Warcraft 3.
No, it kind of like it set other like homegrown troubles up, like Ragnaros and Blackwing Lair and all that stuff, for like to give Arthas and Illidan time to kind of build their empires that you would then have to fight through.
Yeah.
So everyone was like biding their time and building their forces, and everyone was like, oh, well, peace has come to the realm. Oh, no, there's a dragon. Oh, no, there's a Fire Lord. And then, bam! Burning Crusade and portals and Illidan and Kel'Thuzad and all that shit. And then, bam! In Lich King. Oh, God. So it kind of, it made good sense. It gave us a
It worked with the plot.
If they'd gone straight into like Lich King in the vanilla game, it would have been like, well, now where do we go? You had to kind of draw people into the game with the prospect of that at some point you will fight against the Lich King and stuff like that.
Yeah, no, I totally understand why they did it, but I just,
Oh, no, I wasn't arguing. I was just saying.
Yes, you were.
I was explaining to the viewers, Dick.
Why were you arguing with me, man?
I'm not. You're arguing with me. Anyway.
This will be the last episode because we've fallen out.
Yeah.
So should we kill Sapphiron, or do you want to talk about Tic Tacs?
No, I can't actually remember Sapphiron. I only did Frostworm Lair a few times.
I'm just circling around so we can have a good look at him.
Oh, they used to have Frost. I'm just looking this up now on Wowhead, the great repository of all knowledge. Apparently, it used to be completely full of frost resistance, which makes sense, but that made it annoying for Frost Death Knights and Mages.
Mm-hmm. These are all mechanics that just don't really exist in the game anymore.
Yeah.
They didn't ever want to make it so that you couldn't play your character how you wanted it, and it would disadvantage.
Oh yeah, you had to. It's like it's same as they didn't learn the lesson from Anchorage. There was a boss in Anchorage who did a fuck ton of poison damage, and so everyone had to. And they knew that you had to do this to get past this boss. So you basically just crafted a load of poison gear. And funnily enough, in the same patch where Anchorage came out, a load of craftable poison nature resistance gear suddenly appeared for every crafting profession. So you used to have to get loads of complicated mats to get all the poison resistance gear, so you could go fight this boss. And it wasn't fun because you could do it as long as you had the right gear for it. It's just getting the gear was time consuming. And
then Ragnaros was the same with fire resistance.
Yeah, exactly. So they didn't really learn their lesson because Sapphiron used to do, did before 1,200 frost damage each second to everyone in the raid in 10 man, 1,600 in 25 man. Which is a bit ridiculous.
Yeah, no, it's mechanics that just don't exist in the game anymore because it's not very fun.
No.
Or I'm sure some people find it fun, but real people didn't.
Because it wasn't like it was a tactical thing. It wasn't like it was. I mean, it was gear dependent, but not in a fun way. It wasn't like, oh, how much damage can you do? How much healing can you do? how much health do you have, that sort of thing. It was literally like, do you have these 4 pieces of kit on? Yes, good, you win.
Yeah, it was more like, you've either, crafted them for yourself or you've got
Yeah.
enough gold to buy them.
Yeah, but I mean, I guess it kind of fitted in with the whole Frost theme, but I think maybe they were a bit heavy-handed. And as we've seen since then, Blizzard have become a little bit more lax with general elements of spells and things like that. Then things aren't so specific. There are a lot more generalizations.
Yes, yeah. And also it's a lot of, more recently, just a move away from specific crafting like that anyway. You just make your general crafted gear and sell that or wear it. As opposed to crafting gear for a specific boss, like you would have here, or Ragnaros, or the one in Anchorage.
Hmm.
Right, shall we chip him?
Yeah. Killing the dragon. The 100 Club. Yeah, see, frost resistance over 100.
This begins a quest.
What does?
Heroic key to the focusing iris.
Oh, yeah. Greed.
You just have it, man. I'm not doing no quests.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm doing no
The
quests.
joy of the focusing iris. Which I believe is Malagos.
Malagos, yeah.
Yes, who we talked about before.
The big blue
with him
dragon
going
king.
a little bit nuts.
Yeah, I think we'll visit him in our dragon special, shall
Yes.
we? We're going to do a dragon special.
Dragon special.
Which will bridge the gap nicely between Lich King and Cataclysm. That's the plan, anyway. Phil and I might fall out.
It's the Lich King. It's the Lich King. He's talking to the Lich King.
Hi, Lich King. Can we see him? Or is he just communicating? Sometimes see the Lich King.
I think he's doing like a Darth Vader and the Emperor style, like, projection thing.
So, lore behind Kel'Thuzad, in a nutshell.
All right, I'm gonna go make a cup of tea. You start talking.
So, Kel'Thuzad was one of the Kirin Tor, one of the ruling council of mages. He traveled to Northrend. He had an interest in what was going on up here, and he encountered the power of the Lich King. Initially, he tried to resist. He saw the terrible things that the Lich King was doing, but he was corrupted by the power that was offered to him, and he returned to the lands of men as a necromancer, and was instrumental in spreading the plague. He spread the plague in Lordaeron, was partially responsible for Arthas's downfall. He then was killed by Arthas, as Arthas sort of led the crusade against the undead, before he called Stratholme. Eventually, Arthas traveled north to try and defeat the Scourge, but again, he was corrupted by the Lich King. He took the Dark Blade Frostmourne, struck down his father with it, and burnt down his father's kingdom in 3 days it took him to destroy the kingdom of Lordaeron. He then took the urn that his father was buried in, or was cremated in, his ashes were stored in. He killed Uther the Lightbringer, who was his mentor as a paladin. And then Arthas placed Kel'Thuzad's remains inside the urn, a magical urn to protect his remains. But he wasn't done yet. He then burnt the entire kingdom of Quel'Thalas, where the High Elves lived, and used the magic of their Sunwell to bring Kel'Thuzad back as a lich, as you see him in front of us here. And liches in World of Warcraft are pretty similar to liches in lots of other fantasy lore. They have a phylactery where they store their essence. So even if you kill their body, the lich will eventually come back to life. Kel'Thuzad then helped Arthas to summon a legion into Azeroth. He then fought alongside Arthas as the legion tore apart what was left of Lordaeron, and then invaded Kalimdor. And Kel'Thuzad kind of served as Arthas's Grand Vizier, ruled in his stead when Arthas was off doing whatever evil Death Knights do. He ruled the corrupted kingdom of the dead. And yeah, that's about it. He then ended up in charge of Naxxramas. Originally, it was located over the burning remains of the city of Stratholme back in Vanilla, and now he ended up here. And is Phil back yet, or did he actually go and make a cup
No,
of tea?
I've been here all along. Ha ha ha! Listening to your lore.
There we go. That's it in a nutshell. But as usual, we'll link some relevant lore videos in the bottom for those of you who really want an in-depth analysis of Kel'Thuzad.
Or you could just go play Warcraft 3 and Frozen Throne, because they're
Yeah.
really good games. They're still the graphics are a bit dated, but they're still fun.
They're still fun, and they explain Kel'Thuzad's story really well. He's an interesting character as liches go. A lot of the liches didn't have much lore behind them. He's one of the few that does. There's the one in Scholomance, which has kind of got a little bit of story behind her. One of the few female liches. There's a female lich in ICC as well. If you ever fancy asking them out. But no, this is Kel'Thuzad floating around.
Yeah. So yeah, the mechanics for this fight are basically just stand in the circle and kill the beasties, and don't go outside the circle, otherwise he resets.
We did not.
Don't do it, Jamie.
We did not learn that the hard way, did we? Right, let's kill him.
Yeah. Don't leave this circle. I'm going to leave you to do this because I have no range.
I can't get them. I don't know where is it the green circle or is it
the green circle? Just wait for them to come close.
I can lob some stuff at them. But no, we were saying before we came on about the links with the Burning Legion to the undead and how we thought it was weird. But yeah, so basically the undead started out as puppets of the Legion and then betrayed them. I wonder what the Legion are going to say when they come back.
Well, it'd be interesting, actually.
Because of course, those of you who have been following some of the spoilers for Legion will know that the new Lich King, I'm not going to say who it was because it'll spoil our ICC video. The new Lich King actually allies with the forces of Azeroth. I suppose it's kind of a better the devil you know scenario. And maybe also he doesn't want the Legion to come back and be like, yeah, remember when you betrayed us?
Yeah.
Fancy another 1,000 years of torment getting your soul ripped apart by grumpy demons.
No, not just demons, grumpy ones.
The worst kind of
demon. Oh.
We're getting through them, slowly but surely.
Yep. Wake me up when we finish.
Yeah, this is going to be a thing. I suppose we could cut through this, speed it up. Get some more Deck Arcane Chipmunk voice on the go. Oh, we might need you to start chibbing stuff, Phil. They're getting into melee range.
Oh no! I best wake up. Two spectral worms, a black fox, a spore bat, and a monkey.
What?
I just I don't.
My stampede.
I don't know if you can call it a stampede.
There is a glyph you can get that lets all your animals look the same. My fox used to be the pet that I always used. My grey fox. They're like a relatively rare spawn from Dunmorrow.
I was going to say I don't think I'd seen it before.
I think it's like a little quest boss. I got it when I was grinding rep with dwarves when I used to play as Alliance.
Oh god, Kelthuzad strikes!
Kelthuzad strikes.
Bum-ba-dum-bum-ba-dum.
Oh well. Guess who strikes harder?
If
Kel'Thuzad.
anyone gets that reference, then you win a small prize. Yay! Fall of Naxxramas
Yay.
25 player. Apparently, I did never finish this in the new version.
Oh look,
Oh look,
spider.
a beetle.
Wall of Terror. It's quite a.
That's pretty cool.
It's a nice shield. Yeah, I like that.
Torch of the Holy Fire.
Not so much.
No.
There's a dagger. Ooh, that's not an awful dagger. Like a mini Frostmourne.
Yeah. Need. Pass. What are these beetles doing?
Yeah, why are they here? We've done the fight.
Fuck off already.
I think we've done it too quickly.
Maybe?
Problem. There we go.
Yay. So that was Naxxramas.
That was Naxxramas. We didn't get lost quite as much as we did in
Karazhan.
Karazhan, but we still got lost.
Oh, yeah.
Um,
Definitely.
but no, Nax, good solid intro to what we're going to be fighting in
Most of
Lich
this expansion.
So, what's our next adventure then?
We haven't quite decided. So please tell us what we should do.
Tell us what we should do. We need constant supervision and guidance because otherwise we just do shit like this.
I need an adult.
We need a grown up.
As always, find more content at backwardscompatible.co.uk. Find me on Twitter at _the_quietman. Jamie at
Jam13Ross.
The main site's Twitter is at backwardscom. We're on Facebook. We're on Google+. We're also on YouTube, where you can see this video now, obviously. Like,
you're watching
subscribe,
it, you just assumed it.
Thumbs up if you like it, thumbs down if you didn't, and you smell of wee. And as we say, put some comments in. Tell us where you'd like us to go next. We're open to suggestions. There's a lot of raids out there, and there's a lot of content to fill. So, guide us. Tell us what you'd like to see. Thanks for watching, and we'll catch you next time. Bye.
Bye.